Hey, are you looking to upgrade your vehicle with cutting-edge LED lighting? Well, look no further. Putco has a solution for you. Stay tuned to learn more. So let's begin with talking about the SilverLux package. Today we have Dessa Anderson with us today with Putco. How you doing, Dessa?
I'm good. How are you, Stephen?
Doing well, thank you very much. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Well, first of all, I do want to kind of go over the SilverLux, what makes it a little bit different, and I know we're going to get questions about what makes it different. So first of all, what can you tell us about this product and what's going to make me want to purchase it if I see it in store?
Well, the SilverLux is a great option for better visibility.
Okay.
If you've in a situation where you need better output, light output in the evening, an LED lighting is ideal for that.
Okay, so Dessa, I noticed in the kit we have the ballast, which is pretty common, but also notice this separate piece here. What can you tell us about that?
That's the anti-flicker kit. When you're installing an LED light into the vehicle, the LED has a lower voltage running through it. So sometimes the vehicle will read that as there's a light going out, and your headlights will either flicker or you'll get a dashboard light.
Oh, okay.
This anti-flicker kit will keep that from happening.
Very interesting. That's a cool addition then.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, with that said, I do want to kind of comment on some of the things within the kit itself, such as this nice heatsink design. What's going on with that?
We developed this design and also patented it. The design is got a copper weave, which is a natural heat sink,
okay.
As well as the aluminum housing on that is also a natural heat sink.
Okay.
So designing it with the straps this way gives you the ability to install it in a more confined space. In some applications you run into that situation, as well as you don't have to worry about the fan going out, because if you've got a fan style LED replacement, if that fan goes out, your LED light's going to burn out.
Very true. So what else is there about this kit that's going to make it stand out against the competition out there?
Ours actually comes with a clockable collar.
Okay.
The benefit of having that clockable collar is you can adjust the beam pattern or output of your light to be specific with your vehicle.
Oh, very cool.
In particular, the projector lamps that are out there.
So Dessa, it looks like we're venturing outside of the headlight market and going more towards the style-conscious buyer, the accent lighting. Right. What can you tell us about this piece and what makes it different and what makes it stand out?
The SwitchBack is custom designed because it is vehicle specific, so it is custom made for that vehicle. It's also available in silver or black finish, okay. But the best feature of this product is the fact that it works in conjunction with your blinker and does have that amber lighting that runs through it when using your blinker.
Okay, so before we start the installation, let's take an overview of all the products we have on the table, what the install is going to consist of, and the tools we're going to need to do the job. So up first, we have the SwitchBack system, of course. And that comes included with the alcohol swab, so you can clean off the headlamps before you do the installation, because this is 3M tape, so you want to make sure that that surface is very clean so that it adheres that much better. So they've included those alcohol swabs so you don't have to go out and buy your own. They've been nice enough to include those in the packaging. Next, if we're moving on to the SilverLux kit, I do want to note the small Allen wrench that comes with the kit. This is going to allow you to clock the LEDs so that you can get that beam pattern that you want. And that comes included in the kit. Just make sure that you know that it's there because it is a little small, so just make sure that you know it's there. So we have the LEDs themselves, the ballasts, and of course the anti-flicker kit. And this is what we're going to install. We're installing these all together because once you have the headlight assembly out, it's just going to be easier to do them together rather than in separate installations, so we're just going to take it all out at once. So with that said, let's move to the tools we're going to need. So we're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, pretty standard stuff, socket wrench, a clip remover because we're going to have to remove the grill as well when we do the headlight assembly, and a pair of pliers. And with that said, let's get moving on the installation. Alright, so guys, before we can get to the headlight assembly, what we're going to have to do is remove the grill, and this is going to be application specific, so you may not even have to remove the grill, but in our case we do. So there's going to be 5 clips that we have to remove along the top and a bolt. So we're going to do that, get the grill removed before we get to the headlight assembly. Okay, so we have the grill taken off now, and the only thing left to take care of now is the headlight assembly. So we have one bolt on the top, two on the right side, and one underneath. Again, application specific. In our particular case, that's what we have to do. But be sure to consult your owner's manual to figure out how this process is going to work for you. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we have the headlight assembly removed. As you can see, it's on the table here. What we're going to do first is install the SwitchBack system. So in order to do that, the SwitchBack actually installs on the lower end of this application's headlight assembly. So what we're going to do is make sure that the area is very clean, clear of debris, any kind of insects you may have hit on the road. Make sure that that's all cleared off so that the 3M adhesive adheres as best as it can. So just get it as clean as possible. Some little chips and nicks you can't get out, so just do your best. Looks good to me. We'll let that evaporate for a minute and then we'll adhere the SwitchBack system. Okay, so I have the SwitchBack here. As you can see, what we're going to do is go ahead and make sure it lines up well. So we're doing that. And then what I recommend you do is take just a little piece of the covering of the 3M off. Make sure that it's lined up as you want it to be. So that looks pretty good. So we're going to start by pushing down firmly to create that point so that it adheres to. And then we're just going to slowly begin to remove the cover of the tape while pushing down with the other finger to make sure that it stays in line and that it adheres well. So take your time with this. If you're like me and a perfectionist, you're going to want to do it slow. Make sure you get it right the first time. So just make sure you're constantly lining it up. Not in any kind of hurry here. Until the end. And then you can continue to adjust this slightly as it begins to stick. Once it's stuck though, it's pretty well stuck. So looks pretty good to me. It feels like it's about the same length on both sides, so I think we're pretty good there. So now we've got the SwitchBack installed, let's go and get to the bulb. All right, so we have the SwitchBack installed and now we've turned over the light assembly. What we're gonna do is remove the factory light. So give it a nice counterclockwise turn and pull. Place that one aside. Take your new Putco light, and as you can see, just like the factory light, turn it in. Line up the grooves. And then give it a clockwise turn. Now again, this has the unique advantage of being clockable, so the collar can clock. So what that means is if you're not happy with the beam pattern that you're getting, you can go in and clock the collar and turn it just how you want it to give you that perfect beam pattern. So with that said, guys, I think we're done. We're going to install the ballast and the anti-flicker kit and we'll be good to go. Okay, so one thing to note as you're doing this installation, so when you get these lights or these SilverLuxes, you're going to notice that this copper weave is going to be pretty bunched up like this. Now, what is that going to allow you to do? So without any airflow, you're going to have that heat dissipation. It's not really going to do its job that well. What I recommend you do is spread these out, give them a little bit of space, and then flare them out from the center, just like that. What that's going to allow you to do is that heat's going to come in from the central source and dissipate evenly between these four, and that air is going to be able to flow and move the heat out rather than keep it bunched up. So when you do this installation, good thing to note, just flare these out a little bit. It's going to give your space, give your light a little more room to breathe and improve its longevity significantly. Okay, so once you have your heat sinks flared out and everything is in place as you want it, we're going to look at the wiring harness. So first of all, we have the ballast and then the anti-flicker kit. Just connect the two together. That's simple. And one thing I do want to note about the ballast here, as far as it connects to the LED, there's a little groove here that's going to line up right with a notch within the LED wire here. So just make sure they're lined up together. We'll get to that in a minute though. First, I want to go ahead and plug and play this in to our factory wiring harness because it is just a plug and play application. So we'll take it in and just this simple, snaps right in. We're gonna take some tie downs and put these in and make them very snug and out of the way. So with the ballast and the anti-flicker kit ready, what we're gonna do now is focus on the SwitchBack system. Go ahead and get it wired in, and then once that's wired in, we're gonna go ahead and put the assembly all back in and then do the same for the other side. Okay, so next up we're gonna do some splicing of some wires between the SwitchBack and our factory wiring harness. What we're gonna do is take a look at your instruction sheet first of all. So for instance, the wiring harness that comes with the kit comes with, in our case, a yellow, black, and a red wire. So we're gonna compare. We're gonna say we have a black wire, and what does it line up with on the factory wire? So black with purple tracer. So we're gonna take the black wire, and then find the black with the purple tracer, which just happens to be here. We're gonna take our wire taps, and then simply splice these together, and then consult your instructions for the other two. Get these all spliced up, and you're done. Okay, so once you have all your wires spliced together, we're good to go ahead and attach the LED kit back to our ballast and then do a test run. And then if it all works, we'll do the same to the other side and we'll call it a day. Okay guys, so we have the headlight assembly in place temporarily. We haven't bolted anything down simply because if there's a problem, we want to be able to uninstall it and then fix the problem very quickly rather than having to unbolt everything. So that's what we've done. Ryan, if you give us a little bit of light, let's see what we have here. So I want to point out that everything's working, even the SwitchBack's working, just the LED kit isn't working. So we're going to track that down, we're going to get back to you and tell you what the problem is. Okay, so we're back, we've done a few modifications, and we found that, if you give us some light again, Ryan, so the LED is now working. So the issue in our case, and it may be for yours as well, maybe not, is the anti-flicker kit. So in this application, the anti-flicker kit wasn't necessary, and it was causing an interruption between the light and the power. So we have since removed the anti-flicker kit and we're getting power just like we wanted. So guys, there it is. We're gonna bolt this down, do the same for the other side, and call it a day. Okay guys, so the installation is now complete. As you can see, the light, super bright, looks great. Even the SwitchBack here looks fantastic. And this is what it's gonna look like if you have your daylight running lights on and engaged. This is what you're gonna look like going down the road. And if you have a signal light on, come over to this side. And as you can see, it's that bright amber. So guys, they have a fix for just about everything. These look great, couldn't be happier with the way they turned out. So the product is done, we're calling it a day, everything looks great. If you want more details on this product, check below in the description for a part number and even more details about the product, as well as a dealer locator so you can find a dealer near you. Thanks again for tuning in. This has been Total Truck Centers in the Garage.